2017. Well, for the Philippines, since 2001, we had a bronze medal finish. The last time we hosted in 2005. And that's something we want to change after today's win, should that happen. Dahil makakapunta tayo sa battle for bronze at least if we are able to make it past Vietnam in this face-off.
So if you're Vietnam, the time is now to start playing with that sense of urgency after what you just said.
Of course, of course. Alam nila yan. They know for a fact that the Philippines is a fast starting team, loaded offense, and the ceiling is really better for the Philippines in this edition of the Southeast Asian Games. They have to respond right now, and they have the first point of the second set.
Duong over-received by Bagunas. The ball goes back to the Vietnamese side. A joust at the top. De Guzman able to push it towards the side of Vietnam.
It was the offhand that De Guzman used to score against Vietnam in that joust. Let's take a look at that play again. That's off the block against the two-man wall. Espejo would try to keep that ball in play to no avail. 2-point lead for Vietnam. Parang ito na pinakamalaking kalamangan ng Vietnam laban sa Team Philippines.
Retamar tossing it up to John Vic.
Former finals MVP in the NCAA for the Blazers. Remember the title run of St. Benil Blazers?
That was in 2017. He was the MVP, and he led CSB to its first and only men's volleyball championship in the NCAA.
Other coach Maki Carino. Is that correct? Arnold Lanyo.
Arnold Lanyo. Maki Carino was for the women's.
All right.
Espejo able to get it across somehow.
And again, the net defense, the blocking, 17 against Cambodia. Bagunas had 4 kill blocks against Cambodia. The effort, the two-way plays. Saura, Bagunas combining to lock down on Vietnam's point of attack.
And lockdown is the right word to describe how the Philippines has defended Vietnam captain Tu Thanh Thuan.
Tu Thanh Thuan had 19 against Indonesia. 19 of the 63 points of Vietnam coming from their top scorer, Tu Thanh Thuan, or T3 as my partner Anton would love to put it.
For the record, they don't really call him that, Coach. I just wanted to make a light moment.
We can call him.
Because we always try to make our jobs easier.
Correct. Parang KKD lang yan.
Yun.
KKD.
O kaya yung kay Kai Balwalwa.
Oo, haba eh, di ba?
KNB.
Correct. Kai ni Pumusena Balwalwa.
If you guys are watching right now, we hope you're enjoying wherever it is you're tuned in, SND, I Want, or sports.abs-cbn.com. Malinis ba? Malinis. So it was
malinis.
Unsuccessful challenge for Vietnam.
Vietnam had an early 2-point run, but now the Philippines is ahead by 1 on its own version of a 3 consecutive points. And as Espejo tries to add on to this 1-point lead. The first service error for the scoring machine, Espejo. So many championships for Mark Espejo. And Ish Polvorosa.
3 championships, Coach.
3 straight.
And both Espejo and Polvorosa, Espejo 5-time MVP.
Wow.
While Ish was 5-time best setter. So that's the legacy that they left with the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
A legacy that will stand for a long time.
And for so many years, as you were explaining earlier, they've been battling against their teammates right now.
Oh, wow.
And we've seen this so many times from Mark Jesus Espejo.
A very accurate spiker, even from the back row. Espejo will be able to deliver. Sara also had these moments in that set 1 win for the Philippines. Vietnam will tie the count at 4 apiece.
The captain of Vietnam and their scoring machine, Tu Tan Tuan, has been checked so far here in this contest.
Combination play, piston play for the Philippines.
Malabunga losing that joust.
He thought that we had that point already in our pockets. But instead, Vietnam kept playing and will counter and will score against the Philippines. They will have a 3-point run of their own after losing a 2-point lead earlier. They're back ahead by 1 at 5-4.
Overshoots that one. Tu Tan Tuan did.
Both teams did 1 service error apiece here in the second set. The team captain of the previous team to the Southeast Asian Games in Kuala Lumpur in 2017, Jan Vic de Guzman.
Running attack. We haven't seen a lot of those from Vietnam.
Not yet. They have to execute something like a slide play simply because yung blocking ng Team Philippines has been on point.
And you know, eventually, the Philippines will also execute that slide play. It was Jesse Lopez who executed the first slide play for Malabunga that really turned the tide. As we were saying,
specialty of the house for Malabunga. Tying the count at 6.
And Malabunga, judging from the reaction on his face, he loved that one. Specialty of the house.
8 points for Malabunga in that win versus Cambodia. 1 service error for Espejo, 1 service error for Bagunas in the set so far. Dalawang service errors for the Philippines, isa for Vietnam.
Vietnam with a chance to head into this technical timeout with the lead as they are up right now 7-6. Retamar, who will he go to? De Guzman with nobody there to meet him in the air.
Excellent delay for Retamar, faking as if he was going to that quick play for Malabunga. Instead, he finds Jan Vic de Guzman on the right side.
Here's the toss, here's the hit, and another monster block. The tally is 8-7 as Malabunga serves it up para sa Pilipinas. And there's the response from Tu Tan Tuan. Panoorin natin muli. The captain of Vietnam, the opposite hitter, goes cross-court for the kill. And the setter now, Tin Van Tu, starting off this new rally, Espejo.
Good recovery for Vietnam. Up by 1 at 9-8.
Retamar goes to the middle for Francis Saura.
Enough contact on the volleyball for Saura to keep that ball across, or get that ball across and down as quick as possible. This is a totally different storyline compared to what we saw in the first set, where the Philippines controlled majority of the match. Wire-to-wire win for the Philippines in that first set success. But here's a nail-biter of a set, tied at 9. Vietnam up by 1 on that quick play coming from Wang.
Well, let's take a look at it one more time as Wang goes up. Ten to 9. Vietnam holding on to a 1-point lead. Retamar tossing it up. to De Guzman, nothing there. This time he goes to the underside for Espejo. Could not generate some power on those spikes. Another chance for Vietnam. Drop ball attempt does not work.
And again, the net defense of the Philippine team securing a critical point. Could have been a 2-point lead for Vietnam. Instead, it's 9-1 again at 10 apiece.
And that's what Coach Dante Alinsunurin shared with our colleague Mosey Ravenna. As she shared with us in the first coverage, tinutukan talaga nila yung kanilang blocking.
Trabaho talaga.
That was the particular skill that they wanted to work on in preparation for these Southeast Asian games. Back row attack, and Saura was up there.
And again, even in single coverage, that offensive block will be successful for Francis Saura. You mentioned earlier that the Philippines had 17 kill blocks, 17 of our 79 points against Cambodia. That's 25% coming off our net defense.
Vietnam ties things up at 11.
Coming from T3, the heart and soul of Vietnam.
Retamar to Bacunas.
You see the full swing coming from Brian Bagunas. Misdirection coming from Saura, delaying the second blocker, opening up things for Brian Bagunas. And once again, bullet sent by Bagunas for a 1-point lead for the Philippines.
It's a back set. And again, to Than Tuan.
Going down the line, beating the defense of Francis Saura. Saura was the last line defense there, as Bagunas was not able to contain.
Kalingking gives it up to Bagunas. And the captain of Vietnam is starting to heat up.
Understanding that it will really take double the effort that he has put in to be able to get past the net defense of the Philippines. Better angle taken away from Malabunga and beating the coverage as well. 2 straight points for Vietnam. Down 1, now up by a single point.
Retamar tossing it up for Brian Bacunas. And look at Malabunga fish out the blocker. It was clear as day for Brian at the top of the net.
That's why familiarity is so very important for teammates. Knowing what your teammate needs to get open and be isolated instead of being defended by a double block.
And Espejo gives the Philippines back the lead. (14-13). Marcos guiding that ball
Just in a fight.
towards the way of Brian Bagunas.
And again, former teammates helping each other out, secure a vital point for the blue shirts, or our blue boys. 2-point lead, Team Philippines versus Vietnam. Philippines up by a set, winning the first set handily versus the third place team of the 2017 Southeast Asian Games, Vietnam. Score on an open hit coming from A3, but But on the return play, Vietnam will score. Another fake slide play. And then a back row play. A back row hit rather for Tuan.
So once again, Coach Ronnie, the reliance on Tu Thanh Tuan is on display here for the Vietnamese side.
Right.
Espejo.
Off the block coming from one of the top players in the country, Espejo. Who rises to the occasion. Retamar goes to, of course, one of our top scorers, one of our best attackers, one of our top spikers.
Back set. And again, Tu Thanh Tuan all over it. Here in set number 2, Espejo all alone up top. Iniwasan lang ni Tu Thanh Tuan.
2 back row points scored earlier by Tuan. Now from the opposite, still not a problem for him. Vietnam chasing the Philippines. Philippines still up by 1. Make that 2, and the 1-point barrier still holds for Espejo and the rest of the Philippine team. This time it's Saura with this misdirection, freeing up Espejo to be isolated against the single block.
Retamar. Here's the toss, the hit, the recovery. Espejo sends it back to the side of Vietnam. It's going to be a free ball for the Philippines that goes outside.
Push their chances to land a medal in the knockout stage of the Southeast Asian Games.
And end the streak of Vietnam also of podium finishes in the Southeast Asian Games. Bagunas had to adjust. Left-handed tip does not fall. And again, Vietnam's main man continues to do damage.
Just like Retamar, when the need arises, you go to your go-to player. It's Espejo for the Philippines, and it's T3 for Vietnam.
Retamar, back set for Espejo.
Napakasipag magpasabit o magpakagat ng mga middle blockers, even for Vietnam. And that's why time and again you see spikers isolated. Sara faking, delaying the second blocker. Espejo will not be denied in that kind of a situation. Tagal-tagal tayo nakaiwas sa service error. Pero sa ating nais makadikit sa panalo sa second set, mabibigyan natin ng isang puntos ang Vietnam. We're still up by 2 points. 21-19. What adjustment coming from Retamar. And that is the advantage when you have a tall setter. Tall and lengthy. And Bagunas will finish off the 22nd point for the Philippines. Akala mo bibigay kay Saura. Look at the ability of Retamar to make the adjustment in mid-air. Again, the connection between two former teammates to give the Philippines a 3-point lead.
And he did it with just one hand too.
Correct.
Which makes it all the more impressive. Kaya lang hindi na nahabol ng Pilipinas. Tu Thanh Tuan is really like a machine. Just won't stop.
Just like T4.
Ooh. Espejo had no choice but to just toss it over to the other side.
Tremendous effort coming from Kim Malabunga.
We see the leadership from the legend from FEU.
Substitution for Vietnam, number 8 out, number 9.
Champion, best server, best setter in the UAAP, and game changer, especially in that first set against Cambodia.
And a very good locker room teammate. kasamang Anton. Very important. The positive influence that the veterans will emit to the younger players. Just like that, after that excellent serve
There
coming
is a
from Lopez.
challenge on the call by
If
Vietnam.
this challenge is
Block touch.
unsuccessful, the Philippines will have 4 set points against Vietnam.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge was successful.
Tumama sa daliri, coach.
Clearest day. Vietnam gets a point back. Let's see if Vietnam will be able to shatter the 2-point barrier. Kanina yung isa gusto nilang burahin. Ngayon, katapos sumampas sa 3, gusto nilang lampasan itong 2-point barrier na nakaharang sa kanila. But that very long serve will give the Philippines 3 set points. This is the first line of offense that you have to exploit to put pressure on the defense of the opponent. We had 9 service aces against Cambodia. Vietnam, a total of 1 service ace in 75 minutes versus Indonesia in their first match.
Bagunas.
Oh yes.
And he gets an ace to close set number 2.